What is up, my people? Welcome back to the channel for another album review. I'm your boy Nassim the Dream. If you're new to the channel, just go right on ahead, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell as well to always keep notified on my newest content. And today, I will be reviewing the latest Gene Dawson record, Chaos Now. Alternative hip-hop pop musician Gene Dawson is a 27-year-old Mexican African-American raised man who grew up in Tijuana, eventually moving in later on in his life to Long Beach, California. The former California State film student decided to drop out and pursue an entire music career, leading to his 2019 debut, Bad Sports. And to be honest, I haven't really been too familiar with Gene Dawson's work up until I crossed paths with him on the brand new Kylo Kish record, leading me to finding this single, Bad Fruit, featuring Earl Sweatshirt. Not only was this a great track and something that I'll get into more deeper in a minute, but this was a great taste of what I might expect from this full listen. What made it even more surprising to me personally, it offered so much more than I would have thought. The majority of the instrumentals are carried over through electric guitars, but are stunningly utilized in a huge dynamic of variation in sound design and amplification. You may get a track that has more hard-hitting rock tones working alongside with other elements such as hip-hop and pop music, or you can just go straight into something with some acoustic indie that presents more textures into the atmosphere of the song. While this entire project is sprinkled on with enhancements of experimental influences as well, let's get into the highlights. My first highlight starts with the track Three Heads that obtains an infection that immediately penetrates the skin with a crazy dope hook on here as well that makes you want to break your neck. One-headed, two-headed, three-headed monster. The verses we transition to on this track are incredible. The way they bring in lots of light, great works of music theory, and exciting build-ups back to the chorus is absolutely phenomenal. Great exciting track just to put at your second piece. We move on to the next track, Glory, that has more clean strings, guiding us into more garage rock fusions that yet have another infectious melody on this chorus. This track conceptually seems to be about some kind of self-reflection or analysis of Gene's identity and truth to himself. The way everything blends in into these chord progressions on the track feels so full in sound and power rock and pop, it leaves you wondering how much farther will Gene Dawson take us through this course. There's progressively even more involvement in Irish folk music later on with some glitch elements onto the track Kids Eat Pills. Then we get hit with a crazy distortion sequence that almost feels like it's sludge distortions, like in that sludge metal realm. I mean, it's pretty much that heavy in sound if you really think about it. The verses on here are also carried out very well with some hip-hop rhythms working entwined with the rest of the experimentation. I noticed a really alluring upscale melody with the guitar work on this song that I fuck with very, very heavy. And then we get to Bad Fruit, the very, very first track that I actually heard with his primary name on here, along with Earl Sweatshirt as a feature. This is just an incredibly beautiful track. Like, I found the ambient acoustic blend so smooth, so soothing. I was left at all during this track, especially when those winds and atmospheres hit all you at once. These were words that I chose to use to describe the song when I first reviewed it on my singles of the week, and they're definitely ones that I still keep on the table. The folk aesthetics on here are so authentic, with Gene's own touch on hip-hop and narrative. It is a beautiful track. And I can definitely understand why Earl Sweatshirt is a feature on here. He adds to the track to, like, you know, the kind of gloominess to it, even though it's a very, very bright track where it doesn't really feel so sad, more relaxed and just kind of euphoric. Screwface has a favorite highlight of mine on here as well, with the guitar work on here and how it just shreds into these solos. The song Porn Acting pulls us back into the realm of alternative rock music with the notion of deflating ego and overall expectations from others of the realness that they display, where Dawson is just fine with being himself and being the real himself that he could be, because that's just life. On the 10th track, Black Michael Jackson, that contains some enamoring highlights with the showers of noise through the song, progressing with more distorted chords and shoegaze elements. And then the song Ha has this really cool, interesting fusion of experimental rock music and hip-hop that blends with these guitars and violins in a very, very incredible layering. So I noticed at a point hearing both of these sounds separately, right, and recognizing them, but then at another point, they both like merge so perfectly and so effortlessly. One of the smoothest layer molds I have heard all year on a record. And might I also mention, there's even a pop punk cut on here from the track Sick of It. This hits way harder, smacks much longer than any of the nonsense I've heard from the current pop punk music popularities that are currently in trends. And then Gene Dawson is also closing us out with an absolute incredible finale. Y'all, you gotta definitely just hear this song alone multiple times to really, really examine how amazing this is. The song is called Pirate Radio. Thinking about why I adore this track personally, well, one, because of my love of One Piece and how it makes me feel like it's like the perfect song to hear on the sea in my own little world, but that's just the nerd side of me, just kind of getting a little bit off topic. Uniquely, the way that this is creative is unfathomable to absorb, like with all these wonderful string sections, rock instrumentals, atmosphere automation. The singing alone, bro? The singing? Brilliant! The last word I had to say when I finished this song and entire record was, wow. I can't believe this album, and I can't believe what I really got from it, how wild it was. It was just so out of nowhere to me. This was without a doubt an incredible project, one of the best ones of the year, stacked up with many influences, filled with many ambitions, flourished with a lot of compassion as well. And the thing I really appreciate about a record like this coming out is how disassociated it is and how much it really doesn't care. This album takes folk music, hip-hop music, rock music on a quest to find new discoveries, new ideas, new ways to develop the experimental genre in the way that makes you remember the name Gene Dawson. I am loving the hell out of what I am hearing right now. I may have found, a minor bump on a moment here and there or two, but it does nothing to discard what this record achieves for me. Without a doubt, great songwriting material on here, mind-expanding fusions, solid moments that are just sweet and hot at the same time, real authentic interest of discovering new song ideas, and overall, just appreciate the desire to make something this risky without care of the result, without care of the reaction from whoever plays this. Because this project to me prioritizes the pursuit of making something so true to Gene's persona of song creativity and ultimately is the key to this record's success. So with that said, I'm gonna give Gene Dawson's Chaos Now an 88%. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, go on to like, share, comment down below, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And down in the description, you'll see all the separate tracklist ratings I have for the album, more videos, and also the links to my social media accounts, so you can keep up with me on the daily. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Doses.